Hey, it's Mike Seagraves again from No Ceiling Real Estate, bringing you a topic of what I'm going to call Broker Secrets 9 Steps to Becoming a Top Producing Agent. So, if you've watched my videos in the past, we've talked about how to pass the test, how to prepare for the test, how to get licensed, so on and so forth. There's nothing exciting about that. But let me kind of get into what I think makes an agent successful. So let me give you an example. I grew our brokerage this past year just over, I should say, just under 50% in agent count. A lot of those agents were brand new agents. And so there's some things I have learned that is on the mind of an agent when they meet with me to switch from one brokerage to another. And there's also a series of thoughts that are on the mind of an individual who's taking the test for the first time. So let me kind of go through those. Here's the first one. The first one is timeline the game plan and where to take the classes. So again, back to um, previous classes that are videos that I have taught, you need to come up with, why are you doing this? What is your game plan? What are you looking to make? How do you plan to make it? Why are you getting into real estate? What does your sphere of influence look like? Those are things you need to self-analyze before you ever make the decision to get into real estate. Secondly, you need to determine, where am I going to take the classes? Am I going to take it at a local college? Am I going to take it at a private college? Am I going to go to the board of realtors? So on and so forth. Then I would tell you to go interview brokerages. Anyone that I meet with, if they meet with me the first time and they say, "Hey, I'm going to go with you," that's great. If you make that decision, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. But I encourage everybody to get out there and at least interview a couple of brokerages. What that does, it allows you to see that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And what you're probably going to find is that every brokerage has a similar look and feel. What each one does differently is they emphasize certain aspects of the business more than others. Some may be heavy technologically, some may be not so good with education. Some may be a part of a brokerage where maybe it's little to impossible to get a hold of somebody who can help you fix a problem. And then you've got some that are very heavy with being available to fix problems. So um, at the end of the day, why you are going to select a brokerage, and again, this is a common theme of what I see in agents who are already licensed to some extent. But the main two reasons a new agent joins or interviews is because they're wanting to know, one, do I have training? And two, how cheap is it? I'm running into more and more new people who have jobs. And we'll be honest with you, they're one of the reasons that most brokerages don't take on agents who have, or new people who have jobs, is because you can't serve two masters. I believe, on the other hand, that someone with a job and trying to do real estate, there is a group of individuals that become more focused. It's the one thing I can say is, I'm married and have several kids. Having kids tends to force you to become more organized. And so I kind of run at the agents who already have a job and say, hey, why not real estate? So we're a little bit different. At the end of the day, everybody says they have training. At the end, what you need to do is, we handle training a little bit differently. I believe, first off, that you must consult with your broker, your manager, and you need to talk about the classes that are needed to make you better. And then you take the training. But at the end of that, you must sit down with your broker or your manager and go through accountability. So it's not enough to take a class. That doesn't make you smarter. What makes you smarter is when you can apply the material to making you more rounded in the industry. So we do things just a hair different. We spend a little more time on the ability for training. We don't force training upon you. We don't force mentoring upon you. We do realize that most people get into the business because they want to grow their business. You are the CEO of your business, and we're going to treat you like that. So if you want us to be hands off, we'll be hands off. But that kind of leads me to my fourth point, which is you have to set goals. Why did you get into this industry? If you're going to push the broker away or the manager away with trying to help you make more money, is that really why you got into this industry to begin with? So you really need to set your goals realistically. What do I look to achieve? I think a broker can sit down with you and help you determine what to expect. At the end of the day, you have a goal at the end of the year. What are you doing today to win the day? What are you doing this week to win that week? And ultimately, what are you doing this month to win that month? We don't want to get to October and say, hey, my goal was so far unobtainable that now I'm going to come up with a new goal so that I make myself feel better at the end of the year. What we want to do is we want to work and run alongside you January, February, March through the year so that we're making slight changes to you and your business so that you are successful at the end of the year. So at the end of the day, money becomes part of the issue. So that's my next point. So you got to have reserves set aside. I tell people, be prepared to not make any money for the first 90 to 120 days. You may be fortunate to sell some property in that time frame, but in many instances, a new person tends to deal with lower end properties, which don't pay as much. So you need to be prepared. There's nothing that makes it more difficult than having money problems. Most people's moods are directly tied to their checking account, and you don't need for your emotions to be out of whack when you're trying to make a go at setting up a new business for yourself. So the next item that we're going to talk about is I refer to it as beat the drum. At the end of the day, no one said this was easy. If it was easy, then there would be realtors next to you, behind you, in front of you, behind you, so on and so forth. So this business is hard, but it's also very easy to do. And I think the key is you have to have faith, and you have to understand that you're doing the right thing, and you need to surround yourself with people, kind of teammates, if you will. I'm not saying start a team, but what I'm saying is you need to have the broker, the manager, the title company, the lender, whatever that is. Find a team of people who are saying, hey, you're doing things right, keep doing that. New people tend to kind of check out because they think they're not seeing success, when in reality, I've seen a number of new people do the right things, and I just tell them, keep it up, you're doing the right thing, you're going to find success in it. And some people give up before they actually see the rewards, but it is a bit of a long road. The learning curve is probably, in my opinion, 10 to 12 months to really kind of get a feel for, I've experienced the bulk of what I need to get through this. So a little bit back a couple points ago, we talked about accountability and we talked about mentoring. So with us, accountability and having a partner is essential. You need to have somebody who's keeping you honest. You need to have somebody that says, hey, you learned the material in this class. How did you apply it to your business and your everyday talk? You need to track your goals. What are you doing? What did you do this week, this month, this quarter, and this year to get to where you want to be? And I would tell you to come up with a 1-year plan, a 3-year plan, and a 5-year plan. And if you can even go out further, I would tell you to do that. But you need to have some accountability. There's nothing that I see, a lot of times I have agents who won't share their goals because they don't want to let the air or the people around them hear that. I believe, on the other hand, that if you've got a goal, you need to tell everybody around you so they can help you hit it. They also need those people around you to kick you in the butt when you need to be kicked in the butt to help you get to that goal. Again, you did this for a reason. So if you can't get out of your comfort zone and sell real estate, then why did you get in it to begin with? You're just wasting your time. So the last 2 points is you want to track your successes, and you also want to track your failures. Some of the things that I learned in the early parts of my career was what did I fail at? What did I do a bad job at? Was it something I could have improved on in customer service? Was it something in the way I wrote a contract? I would tell you, when I started in the industry, every time I showed a house and I was driving back from that appointment, I replayed that appointment in my head. Is there something I could have said differently? Was there something that I read in their body language? Is there something that they said to me that maybe prompted that response that I could have maybe handled it a little differently? You need to replay those things in your head. It'll make you a better person, but you also need to track your success. If you're paying for leads, for instance, you need to be able to justify to yourself, is it worth the money I'm spending on this? If you spend $1,000 a year to generate leads and you can't tell me that you made more than $1,000, then I would tell you don't do it, because you're just wasting money. If you assume that you're making money, that is not a good business model. So at the end of the day, once you've defined the parameters in which success is obtained, and what you're going to find is you're going to kind of find that groove where all of a sudden things are happening, and they're happening over and over again. What you got to do is, what I'm going to say is, rinse and repeat. You want to scale it. You want to take your business, and it's basically producing, let's say, $1 million of closed real estate in a year. How do we get to 2 million? You double it, and then you quadruple it, and you just keep growing your business from there. You just keep growing on your successes and improving on your weaknesses. And at the end of the day, I promise you'll be successful. Keep it up. If there's anything I can help with, let me know. This is Mike Seagraves with No Ceiling Real Estate. Let us know how we can help you. And if you would, subscribe as we create new videos and new content. Take care. Have a great day.